It's getting harder every week to find new pickup trucks for sale. Then why are thousands of them being parked in giant lots instead of being shipped off to dealers for sale?
7 pickup trucks nobody wants to buy on the verge of extinction. Pickup trucks used to fly off lots. Now they're just sitting there, unsold and forgotten. 7 once popular models are tanking so badly, dealers are practically begging people to take them. Flashy promises, bold redesigns, even celebrity-backed commercials couldn't justify premium price tags for regular trucks. So, which one of them crashed the hardest, and why? Let's get into it. Number 7. Nissan Titan. You remember this one? The truck that was supposed to give Ford and Chevy a run for their money? Yeah, well, it ran all right. Ran straight out of the market. In 2023, Nissan managed to sell 19,043 Titans in the entire United States. That's a 73.4% nosedive from the year before. You know how bad that is? Ford sells more F-150S in a single month. Nissan's like, all right, we're done. Production ends summer 2024. No new model, no facelift, no comeback. Just a quiet exit. It had the goods too. 400 horsepower, 413 pound-feet of torque, 9,320 pounds towing, and one of the best warranties around. But none of that mattered. Because in a market that runs on brand loyalty, nobody was switching over to a Titan. It was like bringing a karaoke mic to a Metallica concert. Technically functional, but completely out of place. Dealerships tried everything. 10,000 plus discounts, bundled warranties, aggressive financing. Nothing worked. Units are sitting for over 270 days, collecting dust while salespeople pretend they're still a strong value. Nissan tried that whole middle ground approach with the Titan XD and diesel engines, hoping to sneak between half-tons and heavy-duty trucks. But buyers didn't care. The Titan had no tribe, no identity, just vibes. And now it's vibing straight into extinction. Now, if you thought the Titan was a flop because nobody knew it existed, wait till you see what happens when everyone knows your truck and still walks away. The next one had hype, headlines, and hashtags, and still face-planted number 6, Ford F-150 Lightning. This one's a heartbreaker. The hype was real. It had over 200,000 reservations. Everyone said it was going to change the game. Clean, silent, more powerful than gas? It sounded like the iPhone of trucks. But spoiler alert, it flopped harder than a beached whale. Ford managed to sell just 20,365 Lightnings in 2023. Not exactly world-changing. Let's talk about range for a second. Ford said 320 miles per charge. But the moment you throw on a trailer, carry some weight, or drive like a normal human being, that number plummets to 160. 160. That's like half your day gone before lunch. And the price? Oh, we're talking about some real comedy. It started at $39,974 when it was first announced. Then suddenly it's $54,995 plus. And if you want the fancy trims, boom, $90,000 to $100,000 for a truck that can't make it past a weekend camping trip without needing a charge. Now dealerships are scrambling. $15,000 price cuts, free charging plans, 0% financing, the works. And the trucks? Still sitting. Some dealers literally stopped ordering them because they don't know how to sell what's already rotting on the lot. The Lightning was supposed to be the future, but it forgot one small detail. Truck buyers want something that actually works in the real world. No range, no affordability, no sale. At least the Lightning had tech issues and range anxiety to blame. Our next truck had all the street cred in the world, but somehow managed to ruin it with every single pothole it hit. Number 5. The Jeep Gladiator. This one had style. The looks, the attitude, the Wrangler DNA. It had everyone fooled for about 5 minutes. On paper, it's a beast. 285 horsepower gas engine, 442 pound-feet torque diesel, 7,700 pounds towing, removable roof, and doors. You could drive it through a mountain and feel like a superhero. But on real roads? Not so much. 2023 sales were 55,188, down 47.7% from the previous year. And 2024 kicked off with another 32.4% drop in Q1. That's not a dip. That's a nosedive. Inventory is sitting over 180 days now, especially those high trims like Rubicon and Mojave that nobody wants to pay full price for anymore. And let's be honest, the Gladiator drives like a cement mixer on a trampoline. The steering is vague, The ride is bouncy, and the noise. You'll hear every bug that hits the windshield. Starting at $41,275 and shooting past $60,000, it's no wonder people are out. They wanted adventure, not a migraine. Jeep thought rugged was enough. Turns out, buyers want comfort too, especially when they're shelling out sports car money. And that's just the beginning of this extinction list. The damage is already done. The trust is already broken. The inventory is already stacked. If you think trucks are safe from this wave, think again. This is not just about price tags or technology. It's about the fact that even the strongest names are losing their grip because the brands behind them forgot what made them iconic in the first place. Now, if the Gladiator fooled people with rugged looks, the next one tried the opposite, selling luxury in a segment where nobody asked for it. Number 4. GMC Canyon, the luxury truck for people who don't read spec sheets. You'd think that after a 2023 redesign, GMC would come in swinging. Nope. Instead, the Canyon took a 28.9% sales dip and followed that up with another 24.2% drop in Q1 2024. That's not a stumble. That's a nosedive with a confused shrug on the way down. Now here's the part that really makes it fun. This thing is built on the exact same platform as the Chevrolet Colorado. Same 310 horsepower, same 430 pound-feet of torque, same 7,700 pound towing capacity. The DNA is identical, but for some reason GMC thought it could throw in some chrome, slap on a fancier grille, and suddenly convince buyers this was worth $3,000 to $5,000 more than its Chevy twin. Spoiler, it didn't work. Inventory? Stuck. Canyons are sitting for over 103 days on dealer lots, especially the so-called premium trims like AT4 and Denali. You know, the ones that were supposed to make people feel like they were buying a Cadillac with a truck bed. But here's the thing, buyers are smarter than that. They walked into the dealership, looked at the Canyon, then looked at the Colorado and went, wait, why am I paying more for the same thing with softer seats? So if you're nodding along or shaking your head, hit that like button. And don't forget to subscribe. We've got some absolutely groundbreaking truck stories coming up next that the industry does not want you to hear. So stay tuned. At least the Canyon looked like a truck. Our next contender doesn't even try. It's the automotive version of an identity crisis. Part minivan, part SUV, fully confused number 3. The Honda Ridgeline, a truck that's so confused about its identity, it probably thinks it's a crossover. Because let's be real, that's exactly what it is. Sales in 2023 hit 47,730 units, which doesn't sound horrible until you realize that's a 35.2% drop. Then came Q1 of 2024 and boom, another 23.1% dip. This thing is spiraling, and it's not for lack of trying. Honda is practically begging people to take Ridgelines home. Inventory averages 115 days, with some models stuck in dealership limbo for 160 days or more. They're throwing out 0% financing, freebies, incentives, you name it. But people still aren't biting. Why? Because no matter how much lipstick you put on it, the Ridgeline is still a unibody SUV pretending to be a truck. It drives well, sure. 280 horsepower, 262 pound-feet of torque, 5,000 pounds towing. And it's got some clever touches like the in-bed trunk and dual-action tailgate. But none of that matters when hardcore truck buyers take one look at it and go, yeah, nah, that ain't a truck. And they're not wrong. The Ridgeline suffers from a classic case of not knowing its market. It's a great vehicle, but it's not for the people who actually buy trucks. And no amount of dealer-installed accessories can fix that fundamental mismatch. And if you think pretending to be a truck is bad, how about a truck that is a truck, but priced itself right out of the game? Coming up, the mid-size money pit nobody wanted to fall into. Number 2. Chevrolet Colorado. This one really thought it was onto something. The 2023 redesign came in hot. Bold new styling, upgraded performance, 310 horsepower, 430 pound-feet torque, 7,700 pounds towing. Everything you want on paper. And yet, sales tanked by 42.5% in 2023. That's not a typo. 42%. And even after all that, Q1 2024 only saw a modest 21.3% bump. Not a comeback, more like a twitch. What happened? Pricing happened. Chevy scrapped the base model and started the party at $30,695. That's already high for midsize. But if you want anything fun or remotely well-equipped, you're crossing $50,000. Now ask yourself, if you're going to spend 50 grand, are you buying a midsize Colorado? Or are you walking over to the full-size Silverado or even a Ram? Exactly. And buyers aren't dumb. They saw the price tags, blinked, and backed away slowly. Trucks like this are now sitting 150-plus days on some dealer lots. That's not a market buzz. That's a silence loud enough to echo. Chevy positioned the Colorado like it was the premium prince of the midsize world. But it ended up being too expensive for value buyers and not special enough for premium shoppers. It's literally caught in a no man's land. The truck's got performance, sure, but when buyers can't figure out why they're paying so much, they just don't. The Colorado is trying to be all things to all people, and in doing so, it's becoming nothing to anyone. That's not just bad marketing, it's a death sentence in this market. The Colorado was stuck between value and premium, but our number one, it's trapped between Ford's own lineup and losing that battle on both sides. Number one, the Ford Ranger. Yep, the Goldilocks of Ford's truck lineup. Not too big, not too small, just not wanted. This thing was supposed to be the comeback king. A 2024 redesign, more power, more tech, more everything. But the result? A truck nobody asked for and even fewer people are buying. In 2023, sales nosedived by 44.7%. That's not a stumble. That's a belly flop off a cliff. And even with the new model in the first quarter of 2024, it's still underperforming like a TikTok star in a math test. Why? Because the Ranger is sandwiched in the dumbest way possible. Below it, the Ford Maverick, cheaper, more practical, and actually popular. Above it, the legendary F-150. And in between, the Ranger, looking confused and overpriced, starting at $34,000 and climbing past $50,000 for higher trims? For what, exactly? Dealerships are already slapping incentives on this thing like it's expired yogurt. It's new and already being discounted. That's not just a red flag. It's a funeral banner. The Ranger wanted to be Ford's smart midsize play. Instead, it's shaping up to be the awkward middle child of a family that's clearly moved on. These trucks aren't disappearing because of the economy, or because people don't want pickups anymore. They're disappearing because the brands behind them lost touch with reality, and truck buyers didn't. If you've spotted any of these collecting dust near you, drop it in the comments. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that bell so you don't miss the next big automotive breakdown.